and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Cycle on Global TV. We're live in the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Jumai Manson. Now on the news info. Power outage in the National Assembly delayed the commencement of the plenary in the Senate chamber as the lawmakers waited for about an hour before power was restored. The power cut by the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company, AETDC, occurred moments before the commencement of the plenary session, leaving the Red Chamber in partial blackout. The President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, waited in the dimly lit plenary room for the restoration of power. The light eventually flickered back to life, prompting Akpabio to commence the plenary session. Expressing regret over the inconveniences caused by the outage, Akpabio acknowledged the discomfort in the chamber. He further revealed that the blackout had affected approximately 9 offices, assuring everyone that efforts were underway to rectify the situation. In continuation of measures to address the food inflation and cost of living crisis, the federal government said it had so far intercepted 141 trucks attempting to smuggle grains and other staples to Niger Republic, Chad, Cameroon, and the Central Africa Republic. The Comptroller General of Nigerian Customs Service, Bashir Adeni, said that the service had within 2 weeks arrested about 120 trucks smuggling food items from Nigeria, while the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission stopped 21 food trucks from leaving the country. As the CG was disclosing the measures being enforced to ensure food security at the House of Representatives in Abuja, truck drivers who have been targets of attacks by hoodlums had threatened to declare a strike if the situation persisted. Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment has sensitized the residents of Katsina State on the need to acquire skills and vocational education to be self-reliant. The campaign, organized by the Ministry's Skills Development and Certification Department, is part of its apprenticeship and traineeship attestation program in the Northwest Zone and Katsina Town in particular. During the tour of various training centers in Katsina Town, the Deputy Director of the Skill Development and Certification Department, Engineer Tiza Chila Shaka, said the exercise was to encourage young Nigerians to embrace apprenticeship and handiwork. The federal government has announced that traffic would be restricted from Lagos Island in Iyano Oworo on the 3rd Mainland Bridge to allow for repairs. The Federal Controller of Works in Lagos State, Olukeride Kesha, disclosed this in a statement in Lagos. Kesha, who encouraged motorists to cooperate with traffic officials, apologized for any inconveniences that restrictions might cause motorists. Still on News Cycle, the House of Representatives has resolved to investigate the national security implications of the current status of cryptocurrency blockchain and other digital asset transactions. This followed the adoption of a motion by Rep. Isiaka Ibrahim, APC Ogun, during plenary in Abuja. Moving the motion, Isiaka said that there are growing global concerns about the national security implications of cryptocurrency transactions through cryptocurrency exchanges, including consumer and investor security. Adopting the motion, the House said it would investigate international money transfer operators, payment gateways and platforms, and cloud computing. Still on, the House of Representatives has summoned the Minister of Blue Economy, Gboyega Oyetola, and his transportation counterpart, Saidu Alkali, over alleged fraudulent concession of some ports infrastructure. Also invited for questioning are the Managing Director of Nigerian Ports Authority, Mohammed Bello Koko, the Director General of Bureau of Public Enterprise, Mamon Amadu, as well as Director General of Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission, Michael Ohani, among others. The Chairman of the House Committee on Privatization and Commercialization, Ibrahim Hamisu, APC Kaduna, issued a summons at a meeting with the seaport terminal operators in Abuja. The lawmakers lamented the absence of top government officials to explain their role in the concession of the seaport terminals. Edo State House of Assembly has begun moves to impeach the Deputy Governor, Philip Shaibu. He has 7 days to respond, the House said. The Majority Leader, Charity Agbamaragbean, PDP over Northeast 1, announced the impeachment notice. Agbamaragbean said a petition dated March 5th against Shaibu was signed by 21 of the 24 members of the legislature. Agbamaragbean noted that the number of members who signed the petition was higher than the 2/3 constitutional requirements. He directed the clerk of the House, Yahya Omogbai, to serve the impeachment notice on the deputy governor. The Seme Area Command of Nigerian Customs Service has intercepted a truckload containing 400 bags of beans valued at 61.4 million naira. A statement posted on the service official X handle disclosed that the Customs Area Comptroller General Timi Bomidi made the announcement of the seizure during a press briefing. Bomidi further said that revealed that the seized beans will be auctioned to the public. Still on the Nigerian Customs Service, Sokoto Zamfara Area Command said it's on standby for the reopening of the Niger border at Ilala, Sokoto State. The Customs Area Controller Kamal Mohammed, while on a working visit at the border post, said he was at the station to ensure that all was set in anticipation of the last order. The controller, who was accompanied by his management team while addressing stakeholders at the entry point, said, with the lift of ECOWAS sanction on Niger Republic and subsequent restoration of power supply to Niger Republic, the service will ensure all is set towards the reopening of the Ilala border while awaiting the last order. The Court of Appeal sitting in Abuja on Wednesday struck out an appeal the federal government filed to reopen the trial of a former governor of Abia State, Orji Uzokalu. The appellant court, in a unanimous decision by the three-member panel of justices, held that the record of appeal federal government transmitted before it was incompetent. In a lead verdict that was delivered by Justice J.O.K. Oyewole, the court held that federal government failed to properly transmit the record as prescribed by its extant rules, adding that it was neither stamped nor the official designation of the person who signed it indicated. You're watching News Cycle, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We are on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When News Cycle returns, Nigerian exchange leads in Africa with 33.70% gain. This and other stories coming right after this break. Do stay with us. You're welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is Global Television bringing you live broadcasts of News Cycle. Thank you for staying with us. And over now to our foreign scene, the Republican presidential front-runner Donald Trump expressed his support for Israel's war in Gaza. In his most explicit comment yet on the fighting as international pressure grows on the United States to rein in its ally, the interviewer then asked if the former president was on board with the way Israel is executing its offensive in Gaza. President Joe Biden, whom Trump is set to challenge for the White House in November, has come under increasing fire both internationally and from its own Democratic base over his backing for Israel as the death toll in Gaza soars and the specter of famine looms. Russia has said it does not recognize arrest warrants issued by International Criminal Court ICC for two top Russian commanders named Sergei Kovalev and Viktor Sokolov over alleged war crimes in Ukraine. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov said that they are parties to the Rome Statute and do not recognize it. This is the second time warrants have been issued for Russians over the war in Ukraine. Peskov said the fact that Russia was not a signatory to the Rome Statute, the international treaty which created the ICC, meant Russia did not recognize the warrant. Thousands of Indian farmers are trying to march once again to the capital Delhi to demand minimum price guarantees for their crops. The farmers had suspended their strike at the end of February after a young farmer died during the protests. To prevent the march, Delhi's borders are heavily barricaded and police have been deployed. The farmers' protests have restarted even as India is just months away from holding general elections. When the farmers' protests first resumed in the beginning of February, the government had held talks with unions to stop them from marching to Delhi from neighboring states of Punjab, Haryana, and Uttar Pradesh. Talks with the government broke down at least 3 times after the authorities could not meet all of their demands. Peru's Prime Minister Alberto Artola has resigned over allegations he attempted to use his influence to help a woman gain lucrative government contracts. The scandal escalated last week when a Peruvian TV broadcaster aired audio clips of what he said were conversations between the two. Artola, 57, has denied any wrongdoing. A formal investigation has been launched into the allegations, according to the Panorama program, which first aired the clips over the weekend. The woman Artola can be heard speaking to a Yeziv Penado, 25. Penado was reportedly awarded 2 contracts for works in the Defense Ministry in 2023 that earned her a total of 53,000 sol, $14,000, 11,000 euros. Artola was Peru's defense minister until the end of 2022 when President Dina Boluarte took office and he was promoted. A quick look at business. The Nigerian exchange has emerged as the #1 exchange in Africa in the first 2 months, 2024, as investors enjoyed 33.70% returns on investors. A statement from the NGX revealed that the local bourse was rated as the best performing in Africa ahead of the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, Egyptian Exchange, EGX 30 Index, and the Ghana Stock Exchange. Early in January, NGX emerged as world's best performing stock markets in the first 3 weeks of 2024, beating Argentina, which came second between January and February. The market capitalization has appreciated by 13.79 trillion naira. The market cap of list equities had opened the year at 40.917 trillion naira and closed February at 54.707 trillion naira. As of January, the CBN announced that it had cleared $2 billion of the forex backlog and paid $61.64 million to foreign airlines operating in the country from their trapped funds. Unveiling his policy mandate at the Chartered Institute of Bankers of Nigeria's 58th Annual Bankers Dinner and grand finale of the Institute's 60th anniversary held in Lagos last year, the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso, reeled out his plans to strengthen investors' confidence, attract capital inflows, stimulate domestic investment, and ultimately improve the level of external reserves. One of the challenges that Cardoso promised to address was the issue of foreign exchange backlogs. The CBN was owing investors over $7 billion in unmet forex demand, which made the likes of Emirates Airlines suspend their operations in the country. In sports, Nigeria's highest-ranked table tennis player Aruna Kadri lost the men's single final in the table tennis event of 2024 African Games to arch-rival Omar Hasser in Accra, Ghana. Kadri lost 4-3 to the Egyptian to settle for silver, Nigeria's second medal at the Games, after Offiong Edem had earlier claimed bronze in the women's single event. In Maputo, he reached the semi-finals and eventually finished fourth, while at the 2015 edition in Brazzaville, Congo, he qualified for his first ever final in the men's single event, but lost the pulsating final 4-3 to Asser. Anthony Joshua and Franz Ngannou are set to become significantly richer once their fight in Saudi Arabia is done and dusted later this week. The two are all set for their contest this Friday, and there are tens of millions set to pour into the accounts to matter who wins. It's an important fight for both men, with AJ looking to set up a huge 2024 in which he hopes to become world champion again, while his opponents will want to build on his first professional match against Tyson Fury. The UFC icon stunned the world when he knocked Fury down before controversially losing via split decision. Emma Raducanu says she is not too concerned about tournament results, as a priority this year is to develop her game. The 21-year-old has won 3 matches in the 4 tournaments she has played since returning from an 8-month absence from the tour through injury. She will play qualifier Rebecca Masarove in the first round at India Wales on Thursday. Raducanu played her first tennis of 2023 in India Wales, reaching the 4th round, having found out just before the tournament began she was likely to need surgery on both her wrists. Raducanu stated that she is likely to play in Great Britain's Billie Jean King Cup qualifying time in France in April if selected by Captain Han Kozvang. Masters champion John Hom said the official World Golf Ranking OWGR is not a good system after Live Golf withdrew his application to join. A letter from the league CEO Greg Norman told players he will not pursue its bid for world ranking points, adding that it's now clear that the best way forward for LIV as a league and LIV golfers is not through the current ranking system. The Saudi-backed league was denied OVGR accreditation in October. Two-time major winner and world number 3 Rem is among the players to have switched from the PGA Tour to LIV Golf. And that's it on News Cycle, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. Remember, we're on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using at Global TV NG and other handles down showing on your screen. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching. See you again. Good afternoon.